So we are still in a situation where older iPhones are still, in my opinion, better and more superior than a lot of the newer ones that have been coming out. Now, I've just made a video explaining why I haven't really switched over to my iPhone 14 Pro yet, and to be honest, that kind of sparked another interest inside of me. And essentially, when I think about the next generation of iPhones, the next ones, there's really only a few things Apple can pretty much do that would make me or anyone want to update. And even if they were to remove the notch, if they removed the dynamic island display, I don't really see why I would go and upgrade to that. The only reason I would go and upgrade right now probably is if Apple were to go ahead and bring reverse wireless charging into their phone, bring some sort of Samsung DeX experience to these devices, and or probably bring split screen multitasking that was a hardware feature somehow and Apple wouldn't bring it to the older ones. Those are the only reasons I would probably go and update as of this point. Now, when I look at something like my iPhone 13 Pro that is about a year old as of this point, that device, in my opinion, although it's not, better than the iPhone 14 Pro, for it being a year old, for it having, depreciated in the used market quite a bit, and for it being available all over the place, I think something like the iPhone 13 Pro that I still use is a little bit of a better device than the 14 Pro. But I even stem it back. My iPhone 11 Pro from 2019 still seems like a more superior device and or a more impactful device overall than even something like the iPhone 14 Pro. Now, that is very interesting to me because when I look at those devices, I would even say the iPhone 12 Pro that I didn't really like too much. These iPhones brought a lot of different things to the table, and that is something I'm really happy to, kind of think about. When I look at the 14 Pro, and now that we have some rumors about the next iPhones like the iPhone 15s and 16s, well, mostly the 15s, I'm not really thinking that Apple kind of is bringing these features and or these impactful changes that they kind of used to. Now, we kind of saw for the last few years, Apple was they were slowly bringing in features that they normally would go ahead and bring in basically, instantly. We looked at Samsung, right? Now, I don't want to bring Samsung into this too much, but they pretty much for their Note lineup, even for a lot of their S lineup, whatever they had in their possessions, they would just throw on their phones. But now we kind of see these manufacturers starting to slowly bring in features, which is totally okay. But when you look at the iPhone and you look at the Samsung or even the Google Pixel at $599, I kind of see some things where Apple can go ahead and kind of improve on. And I feel like they are kind of limiting us with some of these newer phones, easily removing the SIM card. I don't really know what the reason for that was. I feel like they could make some really big improvements to the camera side, but I feel like with these little, I don't want to call them gimmicks, but these weird things like the dynamic island, I haven't heard anybody talk about that since probably in the last 2 weeks. And I'm in the space and I haven't heard really too many people talk about it. I hear a lot more people talking about the iOS 16 battery drain. I hear a lot more people talking about that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to this specific situation, when we look at a lot of these older iPhones and how they kind of stack up against the newer ones, I still don't see that big of a reason why somebody with an iPhone 13 Pro should go up to the 14 Pro, somebody with an iPhone 13, 12, or maybe even an iPhone 11 should go up to something like an iPhone 14 when you can just go from an iPhone 11 to an iPhone 13 and get a massive update as well. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.